Hi everyone. Today we are going to learn telephone conversation by Wole Soyinka. First, let us try to understand who is this Wole Soyinka. Wole Soyinka was born in 1934 in western Nigeria. He considers himself to be a playwright first, but also he has published novels, poems, and essays in English language. After studying in Nigeria, he graduated from the University of Leeds in English literature and joined the Royal Court Theatre in London. On his return to Nigeria, he founded an acting company and produced many plays. His first important play was A Dance of the Forests, which was produced in 1960 on the occasion of Nigerian independence celebration and was published later in 1963. It was a satirical play mocking the regime, and though he was jailed various times, he continued to speak out against war and the government. He was awarded the Nobel Prize for Literature in 1986. So first we try to understand the idea of the poem. The poem, Telephone Conversation by Wole Soyinka, focuses on the conversation between a white landlady and a black person who wants to have an accommodation on rent. The poet uses this situation to expose the mindset of the white people who discriminate on grounds of color and race. The response of the lady exposes the way she has an already fixed attitude and opinion about the colored people. So therefore, the poem is a biting satire on the racist attitude of the white people. The man in the conversation amusingly exposes the prejudice. So ultimately, this poem completely focuses on the racial discrimination. So students, let us go to the first stanza. The price seemed reasonable, location indifferent. The landlady swore she lived off premises. Nothing remained but self-confession. Madam, I want. I hate a wasted journey. I am African. Silence. Silence transmission of pressurized good breeding. Voice, when it came, lipstick coated, long gold rolled, cigarette holder piped, caught I was foully. So students, here we try to understand the meaning of these words. Indifferent means uncaring, uninterested. Confession means admission or acknowledgement. Transmission means communication. Pressurized means here it means forced. Breeding means bringing up. Gold rolled, cigarette holder with gold rim. Piped, held delicately. Foully, unpleasantly. So having given this meaning, let us try to understand the meaning of this particular stanza. Once you have understood, then we can proceed to understand the explanation of this stanza. So let us go to the contextual explanation of the first stanza. So having understood this particular stanza in our own words, let us try to understand what does the speaker mean. Stanza 1 indicates the speaker's doubt that he may be denied the house on rent just because of the black color of his skin. It shows that the speaker is aware of the discriminatory attitude of the white people towards the African blacks. The dramatic opening of the poem immediately draws the attention of the readers towards the prevalence of color discrimination in the so-called civilized world. So now let us look into the critical comments. The first stanza, we come face to face with the fact of racial discrimination. The words given in the first stanza, self-confession, suggest that the man is going to talk of some crime he has committed. So what could you think of the crime? But his crime turns out to be that he is an African. In other words, he is black. So in a way that we can understand that he is regretting himself that why he was born as black. Further, the conversation is unfortunately drifting to the uncomfortable aspect of racial distinction. The man, in an attempt to make a confession, decided to reveal his nationality, for he says, I hate a wasted journey, I am African. This results in an abrupt silence that highlights the man's awareness and sensitivity towards the racial prejudice the landlady nurses. The way he talks of wasted trip tells us that he has been refused to rent a room many times just on the basis of his skin color, and he does not wish to face rejection yet again. The interpretation of silence. The landlady's silence conveys to the speaker that it is out of good manners, the fear of not appearing to be prejudiced, that she is obliged to give an answer. Her silence also makes him feel that he is caught and waits for the response from the landlady. Her silence conveys that she belongs to a rich family of high status. Further, the expression silence transmission of good breeding throws up many issues. Silence transmission of pressurized good breeding suggests the narrator's awareness of the landlady's cultured and enforced rearing that lacks spontaneity and warmth of understanding. In the end of the first stanza, the man feels caught in an embarrassing situation.